Hi, September 19th, 2015, and I'm getting dreads by Rachel. Getting dreads today because I've wanted them since senior year of high school, and I thought, perfect time is senior year of college. That's why. I hope it allows me to be okay with who I am. Doing something different. What the negative side of identity is putting earthly things, putting things of this world that tell us who to be in front of what Jesus is creating us to be. I was struggling with my self-image. I was putting my identity in what I looked like, which I feel like I think everyone struggles with that, and I think if they say they don't, then they're lying. But I have very confident women in my life that there were some women that just kind of pointed me to that direction of like, Becca, like I don't think you're being healthy in your decisions and your choices of the lifestyle you're living. Like, I don't think running twice a day every day is healthy. Even though it may seem to other people like that's okay, it's not, because you're mentally creating this this perception in your head that you have to be this certain weight or this certain look like this certain way. And I think I need to recognize that God sees me as perfect. So I got this tattoo last year because I had this vision in chapel one day, and during Vespers actually, and I'll never forget it because it was so perfectly placed and perfect time, and God just like knew He needed to give it to me in that moment. And it was like I was at my wit's end. Like I recognized that I had some type of I wouldn't call it. Yeah, I was really unhealthy living. I wasn't living right, and I was living really unhealthily, and I was telling people it was okay, but I wasn't. And I also was an RA at that point in my life, so I didn't want to come across I didn't want to teach these girls in my life that it's okay to feel like this, because it's not. So the picture was Jesus was with me, and this room was really bright, and I can't tell you what it was just a 4-wall room that we were in together, and I was weeping, and I just felt very, very heavy and burdened, and I had chains around me, but not just where you think where normal chains would be, but they were on my wrists, they were chained to my legs, they were chained around my neck, they were chained I just felt this immense amount of chains that were going, and the place, it was just kind of me chained, but then it was connected to just this small post of all these chains, and Jesus is the man that doesn't stand over you when you're weeping and watch you. Jesus is the man that like comes before you and sits and kneels wherever, like whatever, I believe, like whatever position you are in, like he wants to be in that position with you so that he can feel what you're feeling, and wants to understand you. So like he kneels before me while I'm like chained immensely. This is a really, really elaborate one. But he's like, I'm weeping and crying out and like, and just this like, why am I never gonna be perfect for you? Like, I want to be like this. Like, I want to be perfect. I want to look perfect. Like, all of these things that I think the enemy just like points at, like, and he's just like he just looks at me and he's like, child, you are perfect. And he strips like all of these like chains. He's like, you don't need to like show me anything. Like, I love you for you. You don't need to look this way. Like, I'm sorry that people tell you that. And he's just like weeping with me and like crying and pulling off these chains, and he's saying like, don't believe these lies that he's telling you. Like, you are made in my image. You are made to be who I called you to be. Like, stop putting yourself down. Stop holding you down. Like, I don't know. So I think, yeah. So it was. I felt very. There's freedom. There's freedom from, and I know in my heart the enemy lost that night. Yeah, so I think identity is what is going against what society tells me. And that may not make sense to a lot of people, but I think it's who Jesus is supposed to be our identity. God is supposed to be our identity. And it's not a way of like you have to meet a standard, like there's no standard. There's no like you're a perfect Christian if you get to this time, like this point in your life. Like, that's absurd. Like, it's just living fully for Him and realizing like when you need to surrender something, saying, God, like, take this from me with open arms and open hands. And I think it's when you can get to the point when you look at yourself in a mirror and you say like, this part of my body, like whatever, this is not eternal. You know, like, I'm gonna be free. Like, you know, like I don't need to look like this stuff around me, my bed, like my sheets, like none of this, like dreads, they're not my identity. Like, this is not what I'm gonna be in heaven. None of this will exist. It's just me and Jesus. It's me and God being together. That's what I want my identity to be. Like, I want to be able to let go of things when I need to let go of things. If God calls me to like say like, Becca, like, I don't want you to have a bed for 20 days, like 30 days, or feeling like I want to be able to say, okay, God, like, cool. It doesn't define who I am. Like you do. Like, you're calling me to do these things. Like, I think that's the radical version of what I would like to live my life as. Like, God calls me to live a life of poverty, or if God calls me to like go out in the trenches, and God calls me to live with broken people, like, because I am, because I have no authority. That's what I'll do. tired. But it's cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, it was a long process, but to be real, like spending time with people that you really love, talking about great stuff is beautiful. I felt like I could keep going because I had the best fried chicken I've ever had in my entire life tonight.